Good evening, everyone. Tonight is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020, and I'd like to call the Fitchburg City Council to order. Councillor Van Hazinga, would you please lead us in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councillor Van Hazinga. Madam Clerk, would you please conduct the roll call?
Sure. The following councilors have signed in and are in attendance at tonight's meeting. President Kuchmarek, Councillor Boschman, Councillor Kucher, Councillor DiNatale, Councillor Fleming, Councillor Green, Councillor Schultz, Councillor Squalia, Councillor Van Hazinga, Councillor Walsh, and Councillor Zarella.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I'm going to acknowledge Councillor Zarella, who I believe will make a motion relative to suspension of our rules. Councillor Zarella, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. As last meeting, I would like to make a motion that we suspend any and all of our council rules that are in conflict with this mobile proceeding or the recommendations of the state and the governor's office with respect to lockdown procedures.
Second.
I have a motion and second for suspension of the rules. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Councillor Van Hazinga.
Yes.
Councillor Walsh.
Yes.
Councillor Zarella.
Yes.
President Kuchmarek.
Yes.
Councillor Boschman.
Yay.
Councillor Kucher.
Yes.
Councillor DiNatale. Councillor DiNatale.
He's muted.
Sorry, yes.
Councillor Fleming.
Yes.
Councillor Green.
Yes.
Councillor Schultz.
Yes.
Councillor Squalia.
Yay.
It is unanimous.
Next, councillors, is public forum. We had allowed for several different ways for folks to provide public comments to our body. We allowed both email or phone transcription submitted to the city clerk by noon today. To date, we received no such public comments. And we also, for the first time, provided an opportunity for folks to register as a Zoom participant and join us on the live feed. We did not have any valid public comments for folks wishing to speak to items on the agenda. Our plan is to continue offering this as an option and to create easier and new ways for folks to join us by public comments. That said, seeing that we have no such comments here this evening, if there are no objections, we'll now hear an oral report from the Appointments Committee, which met earlier this evening. They took up the following matters. There were 5 new appointments for Fitchburg State University police officers as special police officers for the city of Fitchburg for Emily J. Ramos, William T. Bonskar, Jonathan A. Francis, Nicholas McLaughlin, and Cameron McCusker. Those were adopted unanimously. And a new appointment, this was held from the meeting of March 17th, 2020. For the Zoning Board of Appeals, term to expire March 1st, 2025, of Mr. Brian Gallagher. That too was adopted unanimously.
Motion to approve the committee report.
Second.
I have a motion and second to approve the Appointments Committee report. Madam Clerk, if you could conduct the roll call vote.
Sorry. Councillor Walsh.
Yes.
Councillor Zarella.
Yes.
President Kuchmarek.
Yay.
Councillor Boschman.
Yes.
Councillor Kucher.
Yay.
Councillor DiNatale.
Yes.
Councillor Fleming.
Yes.
Councillor Green.
Yes.
Councillor Schultz.
Yes.
Councillor Squalia.
Yay.
Councillor Van Hazinga.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next, we will hear a report from the Committee on Records. Councillor Squalia.
We have reviewed the records and they appear to be in order.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and second to accept the report from the Committee on Records. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Counselor Zarella,
Yes.
President Kushmerek,
Yes.
Counselor Boishman,
Yes.
Counselor Kucher,
Yes.
Counselor Di Natale,
Yes.
Counselor Fleming,
Yes.
Counselor Green,
Yes.
Counselor Schultz,
Yes.
Counselor Squalia,
Yay.
Counselor Van Hazinga,
Yes.
Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next, we have communications from His Honor the Mayor. We have 4 such communications. The first 2 are reappointments for city staff. Mr. Calvin Brooks, as City Auditor and Finance Director, for term to expire May 1st, 2023. And second, for Ms. Ann M. Cervantes, as City Treasurer and Tax Collector, for term to expire May 1st, 2023. The next 2 are new appointments. The first for Ms. Zenobia Bolivar as a member of the Human Rights Commission, term to expire May 1st, 2023. And Mr. John Zarella as a member of the Board of License Commission, term to expire January 1st, 2026. Those stand referred to the Appointments Committee. Next, we also have 1 additional communication from department heads. And that was submitted by Calvin Brooks, City Treasurer. I'll read this letter, councilors. The letter reads, Dear Mr. President and councilors, we are a month into the COVID-19 state of emergency, and I would like to report on how our city is doing financially. In my opinion, the city will finish the current fiscal year above water, but we'll have to manage the next fiscal year as we return to a new normal. Unlike earlier disasters or emergencies when we would spend money quickly and in a finite amount of time, this emergency declaration will require spending over a long period of time. For the current fiscal year, I expect that much of our additional expenses the city is incurring will be reimbursed at 75% by FEMA or some other agency. Some revenues will not meet estimates because of delays in tax due dates, less economic activity, and the closing of City Hall to the public. However, because of the revenue cushion available in landfill tipping fees, the city should meet its revenue budget. Some departments are or will soon be overspending their budgets. These deficits will be met in one of 2 ways. Either expenses will be reclassified to grants, or City Council will be asked to appropriate available funds to cover the deficit. For example, the purchasing department is making bulk purchases of personal protection equipment and sanitizing material to be used by all city departments. Rather than try to allocate these costs to each department, the purchasing department will pay for these purchases. Since their expense budget is only $4,000 for the fiscal year, they will likely go over budget. Given the expectation that grant funds will be available to cover extraordinary costs, much of the amount of the budget will be moved to the grant. If there is still a need for funds, then a money order will be sent to the City Council. By the end of May, we should have a pretty good idea about where the departments stand financially, what accounting needs to be done, and what money orders need to be drafted. We're still trying to digest financial ramifications of the CARES Act, the FFCRA, and the state's COVID-19 Act, while at the same time maintaining city services. The next couple of weeks will determine whether our outlook is clear or still foggy. Even if life moves to a new normal on July 1st, the FY 2021 budget will be affected, especially in revenue. Great Wolf Lodge is the only source of hotel excise tax and is currently closed. It generates about $100,000 per month in city revenue. Because payment to the city of the hotel excise tax lags 1 quarter, the impact of its closing will be felt primarily in the next fiscal year. And when it does reopen, there may be a delay in its getting back to generating the hotel excise tax revenue at the rate it did before. Also affected by this emergency will be revenue estimates for permits, motor vehicle excise taxes, and investment income. The current Fed rate is at or near 0%. The state is also re-examining its revenue projections for the next year, expecting them to be less. If a new projection leads to lower state aid to Fitchburg, then the city will have to determine if that reduction is long-term and react accordingly. If the emergency is still in place next fiscal year, there will be continued added cost. If the emergency is over, there will be residual cost. For example, more employees may choose to sell back vacation or personal time that they were unable to use because of the emergency. Over the next few weeks, the finance team will be working on FY 2021 budget for presentation to the City Council. Finally, the next few City Council meetings, over the past few City Council meetings, we have tried to submit only money orders that were critical to the emergency work being done. I would like to thank the City Council for suspending the rules and acting on those critical orders. We live in interesting times, and the last thing someone wants on the front line, the last thing someone on the front lines needs is administrative challenges, delays, and roadblocks. If you have any questions on these matters, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you. Sincerely, Calvin D. Brooks, City Auditor. Next, councilors, we have City Property Committee oral report. Councilor Zarella, the floor will be yours momentarily. Councilor Zarella, the floor is yours.
Thank you. The City Property Committee met earlier this evening at 6:15. We took up a total of 5 matters, 041 and 04220, both continued matters relative to AKS recycling, were again continued to the next meeting, which is scheduled for next week, due to the fact that final documents on those matters have only just been resolved and will not be provided to the committee until at least tomorrow. 4620, Councilors Fleming and DiNatale to declare Ethier Street a public way. That was also continued because we are still waiting on a report from the Public Works Committee, as well as some documentation that the Planning Board noted was missing. 09920 and 120 are both RFPs for the sale of city land to private investors. They were both unanimously approved, and I would like to note for the council that the approval, should the council grant it, is only an approval of the city's interest in making the sale. It does not constitute an approval of any permitting matters or anything like that. The proposers, if they go through with it, would still have to go before the zoning board, the planning board, the building department, the fire inspection, and so forth. And our decision tonight would not pre-commit those boards or commissions in any way. That's the total of the matters we took up. Thank you, Mr. President.
The committee report is now before the council.
Motion to approve the report.
Second.
I have a motion and second to approve the City Property Committee oral report. Speaking on the motion, Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
President Kushmerek,
Yay.
Councilor Boishman,
Yes.
Councilor Kucher,
Yay.
Councilor DiNatale,
Yes.
Councilor Fleming,
Yes.
Councilor Green,
Yes.
Councilor Schultz,
Yes.
Councilor Squalia,
Yay.
Councilor Van Hazinga,
Yes.
Councilor Walsh,
Yes.
Councilor Zarella.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next is Planning Board meeting of February 11th, 2020, 04620. Councilors Marisa Fleming and Marcus DiNatale to declare Ethier Street a public way. The Planning Board recommended that it be granted. Councilors, this is simply a communication, and I would ask that we have a motion to accept the report from the Planning Board.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and second to accept the communication from the Planning Board. Madam Clerk.
Councilor Boishman,
We're accepting the planning board's recommendation.
No, Councilor, this is simply just accepting the report.
Oh, okay, yes.
thank you. Councilor Kucher,
Yes.
Councilor DiNatale,
Yes.
Councilor Fleming,
Yes.
Councilor Green,
Yes.
Councilor Schultz,
Yes.
Councilor Squalia,
Yay.
Councilor Van Hazinga,
Yes.
Councilor Walsh,
Yes.
Councilor Zarella,
Yes.
President Kushmerek.
Yay.
Unanimous.
Next, Councilors, we have public hearing 06420. Unitil Fitchburg Gas and Electric Light Company to construct and use a line for 2 new proposed pole locations on Valley Street, approximately 1,200 feet west of Canton Street, as outlined in the enclosed petition. I now declare the hearing open. At this point, we have joining us from Unitil to speak to this matter, Mr. Jim D. Jim, the floor is now yours.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my name is Jim D. and I'm with Unitil. And there are 3 house lots proposed on the end of Valley Street, and our pole line ends short of that area. So I'm looking to get permission to extend our pole line 2 poles. And as you can see by the pole petition sketch, they're going to be on the lot lines between these houses so that we can serve these 3 house lots. I believe all the contractor or builder has cleared any trees that would be in the way, and they're ready to go out there. But that's about it. Yeah, 2 poles to serve these 3 new house lots.
Councilors with questions or comments, I would ask that you use the chat function, and I'll call on you in the appropriate order. Seeing none, I would ask, so councilors, we provided the opportunity by public comments for folks to submit anything in favor of or speaking against, since it would be difficult to have a second public forum. So therefore, just as recommended by the clerk, that we continue to follow the same process and procedure as we have in the past. I would ask that anyone who is here speaking in favor of the petition, please speak to this body now. Anyone who is here wishing to speak in opposition to this petition, this would be your opportunity now. And seeing none, I declare the hearing closed. And the matter is now before this body. I have a motion from Councillor Green and a second from Councillor Zarella to approve. And speaking on the motion, Councillor Zarella.
Thank you. I just want to note, I'm familiar with the Valley Street area. It's right near my house. It does not affect my house in any way, but it's up 2 or 3 streets over. It's a dead-end street. There's nothing there except these residential units, and it sounds like the residential units are the ones that need this to be done in order to benefit them. So it really seems like a complete no-brainer. No one who does not benefit from this will even be looking at the polls, much less directly affected by them. So I am in favor.
I have a motion and second to approve 06420. Madam Clerk, please conduct the roll call vote.
Councillor Kuchar.
Yay.
Councillor Di Natale.
Yes.
Councillor Fleming.
Yes.
Councillor Green.
Yes.
Councillor Schultz.
Yes.
Councillor Squalia.
Yay.
Councillor Van Hazinga.
Yes.
Councillor Walsh.
Yes.
Councillor Zarella.
Yes.
President Kushmerek.
Yay.
Councillor Boschman.
Yay.
It is unanimous.
Next, councilors, we have petitions. 10120 stands referred to the Public Works Committee. 10220, Councillor Boschman has asked, and Councillor, please correct me if I'm incorrect. You are asking that we amend so that the petition would now read, Councillor Boschman to request Unitil to apply new asphalt around poles 15 to 26 on Franklin Road up to Oak Hill Road. Councillor Boschman, is that correct?
It's yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So,
Second.
so I have a motion and seconds to amend 10220 as stated. Speaking on the motion, all those, Madam Clerk, if you could conduct the roll call vote.
Councillor Di Natale.
Yes.
Councillor Fleming.
Yes.
Councillor Green.
Yes.
Councillor Schultz.
Yes.
Councillor Squalia.
Yay.
Counselor Van Hazinga,
Yes.
Counselor Walsh,
Yes.
Counselor Zarella,
Yes.
President Kuchmarek,
Yay.
Counselor Boishman,
Yes.
Counselor Kucher.
Yes.
It is unanimous.
And this will now stand referred to the Public Works Committee as amended. There are no additional matters before the committee, before the body. I want to again thank FATV. Truly, they've done tremendous work getting this body up and running digitally, as well as committees and commissions across the entire city, and bringing greater public access to our residents. So truly, we would not be functional in meeting in this way and in this capacity were it not for the work of FATV. So truly, I want to thank them, and I want to thank again the viewing public and participating public for their patience as we adjust to new technology and new ways of conducting our business. With that said, we have exhausted the agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Second.
I have a motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, I apologize. Old habits are dying hard. Not roll call vote.
Okay. Counselor Fleming,
Yes.
Counselor Green,
Yes.
Counselor Schultz,
Yes.
Counselor Squalia,
Yay.
Counselor Van Hazinga,
Yes.
Counselor Walsh,
Yes.
Counselor Zarella,
Yes.
President Kuchmarek,
Okay.
Counselor Boishman,
Yes.
Counselor Kucher,
Absolutely.
and Counselor Tina Talley.
Yes.
That's unanimous.
Thank you, counselors. We are adjourned.
Thank you.